Let's turn our attention to Arizona versus Texas Tech. Arizona 3-1 head-to-head matchup. They just beat KU 88-77. They covered the -3. The game went over. Texas Tech rolling 4 straight. A nail biter with Baylor. They were -6.5. They won by 2. That game went over as well. Here we have Texas Tech at -2.5, a total of 152.5. How are we attacking this one?
Well, you look at Texas Tech, and really they've played as well as anyone. Going back to January 14th, they have 3 losses. A loss to Arizona on the road, not a bad loss to a top 20 team. A loss to TCU on the road, that was their only bad loss in the stretch, going all the way back to January. And then they lost to Houston at home by 8. Again, Houston is the #1 seed, so nothing wrong with that. I do like Grant McCasland. He started at Arkansas State, went to North Texas. In 2022, he got him into the tournament. They won the play-in game. They lost to Virginia in overtime. The next year, they didn't make the tournament, but they actually won the NIT. So this is the second year now here at Texas Tech for McCasland. Last year, they lost to NC State. Now they're in their second season. They understand his defensive presence. They know how to play the offense, and they have a very efficient offense. When I look at the metrics for the last 3 weeks, Prez, Texas Tech is actually the #2 team in the country behind Duke. An offense that is top 5, a defense that is top 35. Arizona is the #35 team. 13 on offense, 162 on defense. And Texas Tech, you look at these 2 games, and there's certainly a correlated parlay on who you like. The first game, when it was in Arizona, that score was 70-54. Arizona at home controlled the tempo and were able to get 20-plus fast break points. In the rematch, we see that they really, in the first at home for Texas Tech, they really bogged down the pace. The score was in the 124 total points. And with Arizona, you always have to worry on their point guard. I mean, for Caleb Love, he can be so good and he can be so bad. When he's playing a slower paced team, it seems that he struggles with his pace, struggles with his tempos, and turns the ball over more. I did not get to the window with this, Prez, but I have a clear lean with Texas Tech. The way they're playing, coach in the second season, the better offense, the better defense, with the top player in Arizona being very inconsistent. Red Raiders for me in the Big 12 matchup.
Ralph Michaels, what do you have going for the clients tonight?
Prez, I only have a couple plays in college basketball. I have a 1-play package that goes tonight if you're looking for a nightcap game. But I will say this, guys. Selection Sunday is coming up. If you downloaded my college tournament guide, hopefully it got you some winners this week. My March Madness guide will be up for free by Selection Sunday when they draw those names. By at 6 p.m. Sunday, head to WagerTalk.com. My shortcut, WT.buzz/RM, the free WagerTalk March Madness guide. You will be glad you downloaded. And I have an 85% system, Prez. I'm just going to share this real quick to give you some information of what will be in the guide. In round 1 of March Madness, if you have the 4 #1 seeds, the 4 #2 seeds, and the 4 #3 seeds, your top 12 teams, if they're a favorite with a low total, those teams have gone 17-3, 85% against the spread, Prez. So much more information like that in the free guide.
Ralph Michaels, one more game to talk about, Louisville versus Clemson. These 2 teams are absolutely rolling. Clemson 27-5 on the year, Louisville 26-6. Louisville hasn't lost a game in a long, long time, and Clemson has won 9 straight. Both of these teams are covering ATS as well. It's basically a pick 'em. Clemson -1.5, -120, and Louisville +1.5 at +112. Waj, one of our best listeners, is in the chat room every day. He likes Purdue on the money line, Maryland on the money line, and he also likes Clemson on the money line. Where are you going in this game?
Well, I am going to go, I lean Clemson, but I am going to go team total again here. I will say this. The teams are not as good as their records, Prez. The ACC is so down this year. When you look at the ACC's body of work, they only have 4 teams in the top 40 in defense. That is horrific. I mean, the Mountain West is probably better than the ACC if you took Duke out of the equation. So while they're both 18-2 in conference play, those records aren't as good. Clemson clearly has played better down the stretch. You don't know that because of the records, but if you look at the way Clemson has played versus their opponents, they come in as a quite a bit higher efficiency ranking, number 18 versus number 60 over the last few weeks. But I'm going to do this, Prez. I am going to go best bet UL team total under 70.5. The Clemson defense, the last 5 games they played, they held their opponents to 42%. In the last 12 games the Clemson Tigers have played, no team has topped 45% shooting. As I said, there's only 4 defenses in the ACC in the top 50. They are Duke, Wake Forest, and these 2 teams. But when you look at current performance, Clemson, year-to-date, is number 17 on defense. The last 3 weeks, they're also number 17. Louisville, year-to-date, number 23 on defense. Louisville's defense, the last 3 weeks, number 62. They've also slowed their tempo down quite a bit the last few weeks, and we have a Clemson team that's very slow tempo as well at number 275 down the stretch. UL did score 74 points versus Clemson in the first meeting, but that was at home where they can control the tempo. In this neutral setting, they won't be able to control the tempo. They had 65 points against Duke in their other top 50 matchup in the ACC. It's going to be a lower scoring game. Clemson holds Louisville to under 70.5 points.